Hey, everybody, and welcome back again to another episode of the Wish You Were Beer Show. Thanks for stopping by and joining us. For those of you who may not be familiar with it, this is a weekly live beer review show that we do every Thursday at 8 p.m. We stream it here. Eastern, thank you. We stream it here on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. I think that's it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So you can check us out on any of those avenues. And if you go down to the About section here on the show, you can follow all of our links, our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. But that's really just so we can talk about COVID.
It's to keep up with our grandparents.
Yeah, exactly. It's so our grandparents can watch the show as well. But down in the About section is all the information on the show, which has all of the beer subscription services that we use. It has the show's Untapped handle as well as our individual Untaps. So you can follow us along on Untapped as well and see what beers we're checking in or keep up on the history of the show. If you go to our website, we've tried to keep an up-to-date calendar of what beers we're going to be having on the show. So, and typically where we got them, whether it was Beer Drop or Tabor or some of these other places, so that maybe you can go get the same beer. It's kind of the idea.
It should be updated about 7 weeks out coming up. By the time that anyone goes and checks this, I think it'll be updated.
Okay, cool.
I mean, you've got some time, Phil.
Yeah, you got time.
I know, but
with that being said, this is not technically live. We are filming it live, unedited, but we will not be commenting along with you because
that's weird because I'm live right now. Are you guys?
Well, I am technically live right now as well.
We are live together, but the episode will actually drop to the public. All of you wonderful people, not you two, but the rest of them watching.
This may be the best setup in history.
So before we
nails them every time.
Take it away, Pat Sajak.
Before we opened, I was like, Dan, you want me to open? He was like, no, you.
Yet here we are trying to explain Schrodinger's cat to somebody. You're watching it live for you, but it's not live, but it's live for us right now.
So either way, comment like crazy.
Comment like crazy, please. We'll never see them, nor
later.
will we care.
Maybe.
And we can't defend ourselves, so write whatever you want.
This is true.
Yeah.
So Tiffany and I will
all those Kentucky fans just joined in.
Yeah. Yeah, you Kentucky fans. Now, so that being said, Tiffany and I are going to be traveling later this week, so we're not going to be capable of doing the show live. So this is a pre-recorded live.
We could maybe
show.
record it from the plane.
No, that's not going to work.
I don't even think we're sitting together, so.
It's called a healthy relationship, Phil.
You got to find times to separate, you know?
That's right. Feel bad for the people sitting around me, but
I'll be fine.
Because you are going to be drunk.
It's true. The rental car is under my name. Technically, you are a free driver, but yeah.
This could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Or just another Thursday.
I was going to say, it's actually pretty accurate. With all that being said, if you haven't joined us before, I'm Daniel. This is Tiffany. And the man in the murder room, as always, is Phil. Phil, you look good. I like your polo.
Oh, thanks. I feel good in it. Ready to do some murdering.
Yeah.
But,
Either that or what? I assume you're the away team at an Argentinian soccer game?
Nailed it.
God.
How did you know?
I am so good at this.
Yeah.
God, it's
wait till we get to
without
that
any
trivia.
pre-show warm-up. You just knew that. That's wonderful.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it is. So you doing all right? How's things on the other side of the world treating you?
Japan.
Yeah, doing all right. I'm getting ready for a big trip coming up, so I've been prepping for that. I'll be doing this show internationally for 3 of these months, so that's going to be interesting to see how that works. Probably a lot of pre-recorded ones, so let's just say that.
Yeah, a lot of me and Tiffany figuring shit out again, which is not great.
Yeah,
no, I think we'll be okay.
In theory, we might have some more generic beers as well. So we are typically doing a lot of craft beers at smaller breweries, but we only can fit so many beers in a suitcase
Legally,
So at this point, I think we've maxed out weight for him.
We'll see.
Trust me, nobody's
Yeah.
maxed out weight for him more than Phil. Yeah. I can't believe you set that up that well. Yeah.
So we'll see what you can find there, and maybe we'll do the same beer. Maybe we'll talk about the difference of a similar style. I don't know. We might just wing it.
I mean, I think they probably have a lot of like the mass-produced beers down there. I would think.
I don't know. I haven't been
They sure do. I mean, it's a tourist island. They've got a lot of everything that we can find. It'll be fine. It'll all work out fine.
Great.
We already have 7 at least of the 12 weeks that I'll be down there. So
okay,
the most of them are still going to be good beers from good craft beers. So
okay, I believe you wholeheartedly.
or I won't have any internet, and you guys will do the show every week by yourselves.
I just love that you can call in. We'll just put you on speakerphone over here, and you can just be like, "Yeah, I'm having this beer."
I'm gonna FaceTime with you and like just glue you to the wall.
Perfect.
Just
I think
my
that
phone.
it's probably going to be some of our best shows. Let's
God,
be honest.
Can you imagine that kind of content? It'd be amazing.
Just
Ugh.
masking tape holding the phone up.
So that being said, have you gone anywhere this week or had a good beer this week outside of the realm of the show?
Yes. So, and I needed to look up the brewery name. So, but I had a beer this weekend called Bacon and Eggs.
Okay.
So, you can imagine that it is a breakfast beer. So obviously it was very coffee-y,
Sure.
but it was a good coffee beer. Yeah,
Is it
trying to remember
stout? Or
Yeah, it was a porter from Pizza Port Brewing Company, and I think they're down in like San Diego or they're on the West
Okay,
Coast somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I picked it out because the title is Bacon and Eggs. So you can't go wrong with kind of a coffee porter type thing, and it's brewed with actual like coffee, so it was perfect. You know,
Okay.
good Sunday morning breakfast beer.
Yes.
would you have eaten eggs and bacon with it?
Yes, so I was actually eating a bagel with egg and cheese on it.
Yeah, perfect.
So, yeah, the whole thing worked out.
I tried to phrase that in a Dr. Seuss green eggs and ham thing, and in the moment I couldn't quite come up
I
with.
thought I saw wheels turning way harder than just asking a
wheels
question.
turning,
Yeah.
and I felt like I needed to come clean on that because I'm not a very good liar.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I also went through all 3 of the Nos Brewing beers that y'all made magically appear.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, they're good.
Yeah.
They're doing what they said they were going to be doing, which was making a classic nostalgic beer. The Czech Dark Lager, though, that was a weird one, I will say.
Yeah.
It was very heavy.
Yeah.
So for me, it was it was thick.
Yeah.
I don't know a better way to describe it.
I would say cloudy. I mean, it was
It
cloudy.
was hazy, but it was
Right.
like a much thicker, heavier, cloudier beer than I would usually expect out of a Czech lager, especially because it was like a 5%. Like it was not the right like percentage, but I felt like maybe I don't know. It should have been like filtered more or like,
For me, I
faded.
got like such a like smoky, like I think on my Untappd I wrote like tobacco, like it was almost smoky, and I don't like smoky in drinks.
Yep.
So it really threw me off. But I was like, it's good, but the smokiness was just getting
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that makes sense.
I thought it was fun though because I think that's the first. I think that may be the first like set of both the guest, the event, and following through on the beers that we've been able to come full circle on. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Like Jason talked about that on the show initially.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the event, and now we've all had the beers as well, which I think is like the first full circle one.
Yeah, because we've
Yeah.
done like we've talked about same brewery. They announced their FML Fest. We went to the FML Fest. You had visited the brewery, but I don't think you had.
Right, those same beers.
Plus, it was like a festival
Yeah.
with like 100 different brews. It was
Right.
There were so many beers. I didn't even taste.
It was fun. It was fun because I I don't think there's been a time where I've tried the very first beers from a new sort of brewery as well.
Sure.
Which was kind of fun for me.
Yep.
Like having you guys magically make those appear, and knowing that this brewery had just opened up in Virginia, and then
Sure.
like I'm sitting here in Los Angeles drinking the first three. Like it's just kind of a cool thing for me. Like I just kind of felt it made me feel kind of a part of it, but I've also never really had like the first beers from a new brewery project. So
yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. I don't think we've had a whole lot either, actually.
Yeah, because normally you either go to like an opening event or something like that,
right?
Maybe like you guys got to do that, but I mean, how often are new ones opening up and then you're there like as one of the
like
first?
Within their first onset? Like usually not, right?
I think I was there for Ouzelfish
You were.
when they first opened.
Yeah.
Because I remember like Austin was still brewing there, and I had a bunch of his beers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's been many.
Tradition, when they first opened, I tried them out.
Sure.
And you know what else is crazy? We're about to have a second beer from a brewery in Argentina.
That is crazy.
Tonight. Not only are we just having one from this brewery that doesn't really have any, I think, in the States, are very easy to find.
No.
But now we're going to have another one. So what are we having tonight?
Yeah, you tell me, Tiffany. Isidra, right?
Ee-See-Drah
from Cerveza Patagonia.
Hold on, I gotta.
Never heard of it.
I nailed it.
So many hands.
I think you nailed it.
I think I nailed it. So this
blurry ear of yours.
Blurry.
Yeah. Boy, you got to wipe that condensation off.
There it is. We have had a beer from Cerveza Patagonia.
Correct.
Did you know it comes with sauce?
But correct me if I'm wrong. This is a cider.
Oh, is that what this is? I didn't know.
I know you don't speak Spanish, but
it says con sasso.
But it's a fruited cider, I believe.
It's a sidra frutada.
Yes.
So it's a sidra frutada.
Right.
Apparently.
Goes great with eggs and bacon.
Yeah, that's what I hear. So I guess we got to talk about whether or not we're having our first cider on the show.
Yeah,
we are having our first cider.
And I think I think we've already talked about it initially. And then I think, Phil, you have been the driving, scoffing force of this is a beer show.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Not a cider show.
Right. But cider has a place in the market. They're part of that market.
They are.
Cideries exist, meaderies exist. I mean, like they're within the same realm.
It's fermented alcohol. Like it is fermented like
fermented alcohol?
Stop it.
But do you brew cider?
So you know what? I had this conversation recently at a local cidery in our area. I was like,
it wasn't a brewery; it was a cidery. Okay.
Correct, but they only make cider.
Yeah.
So a lot of breweries are making seltzer, or
that too, but
ciders, and like a little bit of everything. But I asked the cidery place. I was like, "What do you call your head brewer?" And they were like, "He's a cider master." And I was like, "God, it sounds badass, though."
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn it, that is cool, though."
Yeah, because
cider master.
Yeah.
I mean, you throw the word master in there.
Correct.
Every time.
Yep.
Scrum master.
Don't. I know where that was going, Phil. I am not impressed.
Well, so you think then, Daniel, that a cider could be featured on a beer show?
It doesn't bother me, no, because I think it's close enough in that same vein, both in the process and in the end result. It's an alcohol drink. It's not a mixed drink. We start doing cocktails on the show. I think you guys need to find somebody else. But ciders, a lot of your hard seltzers, these are all being done within the same beer world. Some people are doing them really, really well, and some people are just doing ciders, and some people are just doing these seltzers. But overall, they're all in the same vein. So it doesn't bother me. Agree to disagree, as they say in Chinatown.
For me, it's not that it doesn't bother me. I mean, I really don't care at the end of the day.
Really? You don't care?
I'm drinking.
Not at all?
I'm drinking something that I like, but for the sake of drama, I do enjoy bringing it up about whether or not it counts. And I would like to talk to like you said, like a brewer that does that in their brewery. You know, does beer and cider.
No.
I don't need to talk to a cider master. No, this isn't the Wish You Were Cider show. But if that cider master also brews beer, I'd love to hear what it's like. Yeah. Do I think that it should be a featured show beer? Show cider? No.
All right.
But
show's over.
Oh, see y'all later.
But we're here.
Oh, okay, we're already here. You're right.
Your plaid pants.
Yeah.
And I know we had talked with a cidery of having them on the show, and I would be more than happy to have a cidery on the show.
I hope they don't watch this shit, Phil, because that's over.
Well, I'd love it for them to talk to me about it. Maybe they could convince me that this is something we should have here. Yeah. Sell me, Cider Master.
I feel like, so, not to stereotype you or myself, I feel like being who we are as people, like, one, it's why we get along so well, but two, like, we are, like, we drink wine, we, like, cider seems like it should be our jam.
Don't out Phil on our beer show. What are you doing?
No, because
it's only rosé that I drink. So
all day.
He
don't put me with the rest of the winos.
Hangover during one of our shows. Do you have a wine hangover during one of our shows?
Yeah, don't remind me. Yeah.
Don't worry, we've all forgotten about it.
I remember.
Good thing it's not all out there for everyone to find.
Forever. So, that being said, we're going to agree to disagree on whether or not this cider should be on the show, but it is on the show.
So we're going to move on.
We're going to move on. And I assume since we've had this brewery on before, we're not going to do history and facts about it.
We are doing
What do I even know about this show anymore?
However, you're right. It isn't necessarily about Cerveza Patagonia.
Okay. So for those of you guys who might be unfamiliar with this show, basically,
Cerveza.
This is the portion of the show where we do a little bit of trivia. Typically, it's geared maybe at the brewery or the history of the brewery or the history of the beer. Since we've had Patagonia on before, I think we're doing more of a...
We have drank one of their beers before.
Correct.
We have not had them on.
Right, you know what I mean, though. We've featured one of their beers on the show. So
their beer was featured on our beer show. Correct. Yes.
Correct. And now their cider is being featured on our beer show this episode. Oh, Phil. Ow. So that being said, this is the portion where we're going to go through a little bit of trivia. And Tiffany writes it, so I have no idea what it's about. So let's do it.
And if you're in the comment section, you can comment along, but it won't matter.
Good news. You're wrong.
You're only competing against other people who are watching this live. So,
well, the internet.
Yeah.
All right. This one's a little verbose. I apologize.
Yeah.
What is the difference between apple juice, apple cider, and hard cider? So,
one I give to the kids.
So basically, it has to do
the
with
hard cider.
Whether they're pasteurized, any spices, and fermented, like between all of these. So that's all you really need to kind of keep in mind is which ones are which.
Okay.
So A is apple juice is unpasteurized, apple cider is spiced, and hard cider is fermented.
Okay.
B, apple juice is filtered, apple cider is raw or unfiltered, and hard cider is the fermented version of apple cider. C, apple juice is unfiltered, apple cider is filtered, and hard cider is fermented. D, who knows? I'm not an apple scientist.
Well, you can call me Johnny Appleseed because the answer is B.
It sure is. I only know most of this because I grew up near an apple orchard, and we'd always have to go to it for school trips. And
God, we grew up so differently. I know we've had this conversation before, but my backyard was an apple orchard. Me father once took me out. Like, jeez.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, yeah, you can have apple juice sitting in your pantry for like an indefinite period of time, but apple cider needs to be refrigerated because it is unpasteurized and unfiltered. And so when you take that unpasteurized and unfiltered apple cider and you allow it to sit out somewhere, it will eventually ferment and it does turn into hard cider. Now, is B 100% correct?
No.
I don't know because I did
I'm not
this
an apple scientist.
You're not an apple scientist.
You corrected yourself with
Right.
D.
So it's B and apparently also D because I'm sure someone out there like
You throw an S and M in there, this show just changed.
the cider master is like, wow, this
We're throwing the master word in too.
no man, cider master is gonna be like, wow, I can't believe this person is doing this. Why do we give them a microphone?
I remember in early high school, my buddy and we buried a bunch of apple cider in his yard and waited months for it to ferment so we could drink. I don't remember it being good, and I probably got sick, but I don't remember much.
I think you did it wrong once.
Yeah, that's about as far as we got because we were smart.
God, Hamilton, Massachusetts, what a wild animal.
God, it's a wild town.
God.
All
All
right. I didn't write any of these answers down, so let's see if I remember.
Oh, good.
All right, true or false? In Europe, there is no such thing as hard cider or apple cider.
There is only cider.
Yeah, what?
Which part of Europe is what I'm getting at?
What a weird question.
Yeah, I feel like that could be true, actually, because Europe's always going to be like the staunch, like, purist of everything. Like, there actually is only cider. This one's just made with apples, or this one's made with this.
So do you think maybe they call what we call apple cider, they just call it something different?
Yeah, cider.
No, but or is cider the hard cider? This is where I guess because they have hard cider, but maybe they just call it cider, and then apple juice and apple cider are called something different. That's the only way I can see this being true.
The hell do they call Applejack cereal then? It actually would be shamed.
You're right.
So I'm going to go with true just because I think that they probably just call cider, that is hard cider. That's my guess.
Yeah. I'm also saying true.
It is true. So they call apple juice
Two.
is just like juice.
Yeah.
And then cider is cider. And cider has to be apples, for the record.
I mean, I don't think...
So they don't do like a pear cider?
I didn't realize you graduated.
Or is a pear cider called pear cider?
I would assume that it would have to be specified. Because, I mean, like, you could ferment any fruit, but that's like how you get, like, wine and other things with grapes.
I mean, this seems logical.
Maybe
but...
I should have done more research.
Glad we're teaching people something. That's what they come here for.
Tune in next week. All right. Which country has the biggest consumer?
Is the biggest
consumer of hard cider? America, the UK, Germany, or Argentina?
Well, we had a pre-show meeting with a resident, and apparently apples are Argentina. So I'm gonna say D, Argentina.
I'm going to go with B because the UK doesn't have hard cider. They just have cider. So I'm thinking this is something they've been doing for a long time, and they're
apples
really
grow
into it.
so well in the abysmal, like, cold and dreary.
I'm going with it anyways. Let me be.
You're probably right.
Let me be.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
I got you.
Yeah. I see you, Lennon McCartney.
It is B.
Boom.
Wow, Phil, you are 3 for 3.
Yeah.
I know.
Very
I'm
impressed.
doing well tonight.
I love that you apparently did more research than Tiffany.
So they are the biggest consumers of cider per capita, and 56% of the apples grown in the UK are made into cider.
You didn't say per capita.
Oh, interesting.
That changes that question.
Shut
Oh,
up.
it does.
No, sir.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, too bad. We're moving on.
Wait.
I'm right.
That
You're
was the
wrong.
third question.
Per their GDP.
Thank you. If we're going to get into per capita. That was the third question, which means
Oh, yeah.
I can... So typically at this portion of the show, we're going to go ahead and crack
Also, GDP is a
this
Fudgy.
sweet bastard.
dumb ways to make women.
So we're gonna
Or-
crack this beer so that we can try it over the course of the next 1 or 2 questions, so that we can actually get a full flavor profile instead of just going off of our gut reaction of it, which I assume Phil is going to be mad about.
Oh, it's pink.
It's very pretty. I will give it that.
It's your rosé, Phil.
It is the It's exactly what I was looking for.
Ugh.
Who knew?
Oh, it smells
Very
like cider.
effervescent.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get a
Okay.
Patagonia glass?
Oh, I don't know. I've got an
Damn.
insider.
It showed up with some beer.
And it's a tulip one and everything.
It's not working tonight.
No.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
it's all right.
Next question.
All right. Next question.
True or false? Legally, cider needs to be made with 80% apple juice.
Based off the first sip of this, I'm going to say true.
It is very
Yeah.
apple juice.
I'm going to go with my gut on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with true as well.
It's false.
God damn it. I hate the show so much.
It's actually way more depressing.
Oh, it's very
really,
little.
So really good apple cider is technically like 100% apple juice or 100% apples, I guess.
Right.
Like legally though, in order to market it as cider, it has to be 35%.
Okay.
So there are 2 caveats to that. One, your cheaper ciders would be mostly water and
Right.
maybe like some sugar and then, apple juice. Or you could also put in like other fruits that are not apples, but still ferment them to create a different blend.
Like a different profile.
So I'd
Yeah.
like to think it is the latter of the 2, because having a mostly watered down cider sounds really depressing
It does.
Mhm.
and really just boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the latter of the 2 at least gives you some options to...
Like, do you remember when you were little and your mom was like, don't drink too much juice, and she'd like water it down so you wouldn't have so much sugar?
Yeah,
Just-
because we could afford juice in the house.
Yeah.
We had
I'm sorry.
Newport
All
News
my drinks were made
water.
from powder.
Correct.
So
And a giant man busts through our wall every week, and we're like, who is going to pay for this? A lot of Kool-Aid. And that was mainly water and sugar, too.
We had
oh
Martinelli's-
yeah.
We had Martinelli's like right around the corner, so we always had the big things of apple juice.
Mm.
Martinelli.
Oh, you had that fancy apple juice. Look at you.
I mean, it.
Phil, you just said you and your friend buried like a cord of apples in your backyard so you could get drunk 9 months later. If that ain't the
Yeah.
most Dartmouth shit I've ever heard.
But that's also really trashy.
This is
It's not like I buried Martinelli's apple juice in the
This
yard.
is actually
Like,
true. Just the fact you buried a bunch of apples instead of just faking an
He said
ID.
it was apple cider.
It was apple cider.
Yeah.
Yeah, in like a
You know what I
plastic
mean.
jug.
It wasn't like
Buried it.
swirling and like burying whole fruits.
That's even better.
All right, next.
Next.
True or false? This beer was named after a legend of a woman named Isidra, who was said to have had an infinity in producing apple tree.
Infinitely.
Infinite. Wow.
Well, I'm worried about you, Tiffany.
See you later.
Yeah.
Producing apple tree with which she made the richest cider.
So
So,
There's
by
a
the
lot.
way, I really threw this together.
are you trying to tell me that a cidra doesn't just mean cider in Spanish? 'Cause
Correct.
I've been fucked from Jump Street then.
This
Or
would
does
be-
it? And this is false.
Right.
I'm going to go with false. I'm going to stick in the Spanish gut on this one because I had Taco Bell today.
I'm going to go with true here because I can't imagine Tiffany coming up with this whole story.
Are you sure? Check the grammar.
I've come up with a lot of really
I mean,
good
she
stories.
couldn't even read the words in it, which means I'm assuming she copy and pasted it from somewhere.
If I copied and pasted it, do you think that they would have had we versus she?
Yes.
I'm
All right. I'm still
going
going to go.
true.
I'm going to go with false. Just
So it is true. And Phil, I did not copy and paste. I was like dictating as I was like reading it in my head. But I wasn't like looking at what I was typing because I was like trying to also cook dinner.
I was sitting watching sports ball.
No, you were
God.
helping me make dinner. because I was like, all of a sudden had this moment of like, I can't do all these things and I'm just going to shut down. And so he took over dinner so I could do trivia. And I obviously put a lot of time into it. But no, okay, so hold on. Yes, it is that is how it was named. So legend has it that she was this woman who was born in Fernandez Oro province of the Rio Negro, and she had this infinite apple tree with which she made the richest cider, and that is like this local myth, and that's how they named this.
Cool.
I'm sure I mispronounced everything, and Vero, you can tell me about it later.
Nope.
Shall we drink this cider? I change all my language. Shall we drink this cider?
We're going to drink it, and we already have, but let's actually review it. All right. So we are going to be reviewing the Isidra cider. It's from Patagonia, which is in Argentina.
Cerveza Patagonia.
That's beer Patagonia, which I disagree with on this.
That's the name of their brewery.
So like we said, this is a cider, which I think is the first one on the show. So I'll be interested to see what other ciders everyone else has had and what to gauge this against. Phil.
Sidra Futada.
Would you like me to go first? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm very interested in your opinion on this.
Okay. So I am not a huge cider fan.
Okay.
And that's not just because of my opinion about this whole thing.
Sure.
In general, I kind of find ciders to be... I just... They're too apple juicy, and there's always like an artificial flavoring in them in some way. Like they always taste a little fake to me. I will say this one does not taste fake to me.
Right.
It's very clean. It's very flavorful. But it does just taste like juice. Like it's like a little lightly carbonated juice.
Yep.
I don't get any alcohol in this at all. I mean, I know it's low in general, but
yeah, it's like what, a 5.3? 5.3. Yeah.
But it smells amazing. It tastes amazing. It's very refreshing. It's a pretty color. So for a cider, for me, this is a 4.25. But I really don't have a lot to compare it to.
Fair.
And most of the ciders I have, I just don't like. So that's why it's really high up there for me, because I'm comparing it to other ciders. Do I want to drink it again? I'm good. I'll probably just stick to beer. But if I'm gonna have a cider, this would be the one I'd want.
Fair. I have mixed emotions on this one because I don't drink a lot of anything other than beer and water. Like, so at work I drink water all
Thank goodness
day.
you drink water.
And then when I get home, I drink beer usually. So like even like breakfast, like I don't drink orange juice. I drink coffee, but like I don't. Apple juice was always something I drank like as a kid, and something that still like if I have a continental breakfast at a hotel and there's that little shitty plastic cup where I can fill up with apple juice.
Oh yeah.
For some reason I'm immediately like 10 again, and I'm like, yeah, fucking load her up, bro.
It's actually called apple drink. I believe.
It's like purple drink.
That's the 35% apple.
Right, yeah, exactly. But I mean, this to me though, for whatever reason, has that like feel to it because it is pretty clean apple. Like it tastes like apple juice, which is great. Yeah. I'm also not a huge cider fan in general. We do have a cidery around here that is pretty good. And I've had a couple of really dry variations of a cider that almost come off like a white wine. Yep. That I think I enjoyed more than the really like pure juice, like taste like pure juice ones like this. That being said, I'm still on board with you. I can drink this shit like all day long. It's clean, it's easy, it's 5-something%. If you throw a Bud Light in front of me or this, depending on the season, I'll probably have this.
Yep.
So, I mean, for me, I'll probably go a little bit lower still, just because I've had some other ciders that I think were better, but I'll still go 3.75. I mean, it's still good. Like you said, it's extremely refreshing. I'm sure when I go to check it in on tap, it'll say effervescent.
It will.
That's one of their big tags on that one. and I never get to use it. So I'm very excited. So 3.75 for me.
Good.
I fucking love ciders. I don't care who knows it. I'm telling it to the world. I will be that basic. I fucking love these things. I
just want you to know that is going to be posted on our social media tomorrow. Just that line.
Right.
Fucking love ciders, and I don't care who knows it.
Continue.
Yes. So I wish Daniel liked them more. And so that we can go to like cider places. We went to Bold Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yes, please give me all of the ciders. And
I was like, can we get a beer
and
while
he was
we're
like,
in the Nelson 151?
He was like, we should leave because there's other locations. And I was like, but this
If I want to apple pick, I'd have brought my boyfriend.
Oh, God, we could have apple picked. So I am that person.
It's fully aware.
Gorgeous. Look at this pretty color.
No, so I'm excited to hear what you think of this one then, because you've had a lot of ciders and you like them.
And I think for me, the reason I don't drink a lot of ciders and the reason I love them is kind of the same thing, Phil, that you were saying, and the fact that they are very juice like flavored. There's not really a whole lot of alcohol. I like that they're effervescent. I feel fancy. Like it's
you
like sparkling, whatever.
In it and it's still good.
Oh no. No. But like I haven't come out with my cider love until
you haven't come
now.
out. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's new.
But yeah, I like this one. It's very sweet. It is juice, and at the same time, it is extremely dangerous because it is juice. Not only will I have like a weird sugar high because I don't drink a lot of juice or eat a lot of sugar, but I will also probably get drunk very quickly, being like, oh, it's a whole bottle of Martinelli's.
Yet Vero only sent us 2.
So, what's your score at the end of the day?
4.5.
4.5.
She says 4.5.
4.50.
Somebody got to do some damn math.
What's the math?
Actually keeps us at Phil's rating.
It's either 4.25 or 4.
Yeah. I think in theory it should be 4.
Which I think is crazy for us to be like, we're a beer show and we like this cider. But at the same time, like, I don't know, as like a mixing it up, like we almost always have beer. Like this is like really refreshing. It's kind of like drinking a seltzer in the summer. Like mixing it up every once in a while is nice, and it kind of gives you an appreciation for the other kinds of beers and things that are out there.
For that dank IPA I'm gonna have after this show is over.
That's I was about to say I'm gonna have to have a beer after the show because I'm unsatisfied. Like this is when I'm supposed to drink beer, and I've had no beer, and I've just had this juice.
I had a pretzel assassin earlier, so
yeah.
But it's good juice, so I'll give it. So we're giving Isidra from Patagonia a 4.25.
Not too shabby.
Good score. We got one more thing to do. We got 2 more things to do. But first, let's find out what some of these people on Untapped think of this cider. Because it's on Untapped for some reason, even though it's not a beer.
God, your hatred is so palatable.
Now, here's an issue we're going to have, though.
What?
Everything's in Spanish.
No, stop. It is effervescent. I see it.
We're going to have to bring in someone to help us out with this. And it's the person who sent us this. I mean, she didn't send it to us. It just magically appeared.
It just showed up.
Vero, help us.
Go!
Help us. Welcome to the show, Vero.
You also have a Patagonia glass.
Uh-oh, someone's very hurt.
It came from the same place where Daniel's hat came.
You know what I love is that I have a Patagonia hat. Both of them have Patagonia glasses. And Vero's BFF ain't got shit.
She got jewelry. Handmade jewelry from Argentina.
It doesn't say Patagonia on it, though.
No, it
does
says
not.
T for
Not
Tiffany.
It says
So
T.
nothing
says
for the
T.
show.
First of all, I have to say that I am very proud of all of you because all the Spanish words were perfectly pronounced.
Thank
I'm
you.
very, very proud.
Well,
Take that, Senor Fishore. I paid attention in your class. We called him Senor Pescador.
all right.
Makes sense.
So this is the part of the show where we're going to go through some Untapped ratings to see what other people thought about it. But luckily, Vero is a fantastic friend of the show and us individually, and she's going to translate because Tiffany already started, and it was
It says
awful.
I am primary, like.
Oh no!
Feels like
Take over.
You don't-
I was like, get this out of here. We're gonna offend someone.
Tiffany, you're out.
all right. So Vero, please tell us what this person is. Tell us what Jer B is his name.
Correct.
Jere.
I said it
His
right.
name is probably Jeremias, like Jeremiah.
Probably.
So he is saying, I am the first one to throw shit at Patagonia, but I really like this thing. It's sweet, it's effervescent, and I had a great time drinking it.
So he'll be the first one to like throw shade or talk shit about Patagonia. So he's not
Exactly. No,
Not
he's
a
not a
fan.
fan.
interesting.
Not a fan.
Is-
Actually, this one, if you can see here, what Tiffany was reading a sauce. It's
Yeah.
Where is it? Where's the camera? Having a Tiffany moment. It says with Sauco here.
Right.
Sauco is elderflower, and it's the same thing that the Patagonia 24.7 had.
right.
It was brewed with Sauco
Do you remember that?
and honey.
That's not Sasso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sauco.
I love it. I love that
elderflower.
Tiffany just kept thinking it came with sauce that we were denied.
I was like,
Applesauce.
where's
She
the-
sent us our cider, but no sauce.
Where's?
How dare they not provide us with the sauce?
I assumed it was like when you were served that it was like,
Also,
here's your Isidra.
can you pull that review
Saucy.
back up, Phil?
Yep. Give me
Yeah.
a minute. Let me just cut you off the camera again.
I know. Thank you.
He's drinking next to, like in an Imperial glass. Imperial
hate-
is another brand of beer in Argentina.
So he just earned the Johnny Appleseed badge, which means he drinks 0 cider. This is that's his 5th cider he's drank because every 5 check-ins.
Right, so he's Phil.
Also, I'll be the first one to throw shade at this motherfucker's camera work. Be working on a Google Pixel like 0.05. What is this? Get the hell out of here
It's
with
the
you
iPhone 4.
with your broken Spanish.
I don't think that was broken.
Yeah, I know. Does no one in Argentina have a camera?
I will
understand.
say,
This is
To
not
defend
even
them,
Spanish.
I'm not providing the whole photo. Because I'm only on the checked in. If the
No,
photo wasn't
this
that
is the whole
exciting, I didn't
photo,
give you the whole thing.
guarantee it.
Yeah.
What is?
Well, then what is this? Because I didn't know what this word was. So
I love
thought
that it's not
it
even
was-
Spanish.
It's not even Spanish.
This is just
That's
some,
not even a word.
this is just some drunk motherfucker who's like, you should have sack start.
Hold on. Can we Google this really fast?
Don't Google sack start or
I'm-
use your own computer.
I am.
Yeah, you were going to get a whole different thing.
Yes, you start typing in sack on my Google, things go south very quickly.
So it's apparently a song by Dua Via Mara.
It's a song.
It's a song.
It sounds like a song you'd like, though,
Hold on,
Daniel.
I
Let's
started
be
to
honest.
say it, and
It sounds
then
like a heavy metal song.
Yes.
It's not.
Hold on. Well, it might be because then I was like, oh, it's obviously a Spanish, so I said it in a Spanish, and then I looked
No.
at the album and it starts with "ich" as in like German.
That would make sense. Yeah.
So this might be a German song.
This-
If only we were live tonight and our drunk German was on the show, we could bring him in.
It gets out of hand so fast.
It's
I think I
option
got-
E. It's option E.
I think I got one more.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
Just that.
She's Antonella is pissed. Antonella is not happy.
It's gonna be able to read that.
Uh-oh.
Okay, sure.
No one can
Can
see
you
that.
see
That's
these
what I'm saying.
weird old German. people?
Everyone Google sack start because it's fantastic.
Just
So
do that.
Antonella here says that it tastes like nothing. There's no elderflower, and it's
Depressing.
sad, depressing. Yeah,
Yeah.
sad business.
I want to know for me as a person who's ever gone like, boy, I'm getting 0 elderflower out of this because that's normally such a front of the nose taste and smell for me. No.
The thing is, sidra is the Argentine drink for the holidays.
Okay.
This is what you drink. Remember, the holidays in Argentina are summer, so it's probably like 40 degrees Celsius.
Right. So you're drinking a
Christmas?
lot of lighter shit. Yeah.
Can you
So
convert
this-
that to Fahrenheit real
It's
fast?
90 degrees Fahrenheit.
90, 100. I mean, we have dinner like at 10 in the evening outside,
Right.
usually with the swimming pool
Right.
on the 24th, and
Again, I
you wait
think we do
until
it differently.
12 p.m. to open the presents. The kids are awake. It's summer, and the same thing for New Year's Eve. So sidra has always been the drink for the holidays. You toast with sidra. You don't toast with prosecco. You don't toast with champagne. You toast with sidra that comes in a bottle. This one came out on my birthday while I was in Argentina on October 20th.
Well, happy late birthday.
Thank you. And I tried it on draft. On the can is way better.
Oh,
I have to
interesting.
say. It's way better on the can. Same thing happened with the Gun Hill that we tried. I tried it on draft here, and it's way better in the can.
Interesting.
So this is very holiday flavory for me.
Okay.
And to answer the question before, only apples and pears can be made into cider. If they are made out of anything else, they have to be called fruit wine.
Right.
But only apple and pear.
That makes sense.
Interesting.
All right.
Maybe you could throw anything else in there, but maybe I should have done more reading.
Maybe we should have looked up Sax Dark.
So
I don't
why-
know.
Why
We
is
should just
this-
be listening to Sastark. So,
God,
What?
I want to play it.
It's still up on our computer. I'm like, please stop. Don't play this.
So why is this one red?
Because of the apples.
Apples. I mean,
It's red apples. The apples from Rio Negro are red apples. That's why.
I feel like that was a pretty easy mystery to solve there on that one.
we should probably have another episode about it.
I know I catch a lot of shit about my trivia knowledge, but I feel like that was a pretty easy one to solve.
It's not like berries as well in there.
No.
It has a cherry flavor, but it doesn't have. But actually, if you consider this has more alcohol than that not beer that we tried, what you guys were talking about before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that
the
one
Nos
was like
was 4.3, and this
Yeah.
one, and this is a dangerous drink because you don't feel the alcohol, and it
Oh.
comes for you.
I'll be the gauge of dangerous drinks around here.
And the story of Ee-See-Drah is printed right there.
Yeah.
So I was trying to read it, and I got because you told me what it was.
It says that sometimes your name marks your destiny. Her name was Isidra, which is actually a female name. And she had an apple orchard and she used to make cider, and that's how she became famous.
Increíble.
What?
Incredible cider.
Increíble.
Yeah.
So her name was Isidra. She made cider. Cider. That's it.
It's all coming together now.
It's all coming.
All right.
Yeah.
I just remembered we got to do a wish for beer, and I did not come up with
Yeah.
one.
And we have
well,
11 minutes. So,
Pharaoh,
No,
thank
11
you
minutes.
for
Pharaoh.
translating all that for us.
and thank you
You're very
Cheers,
welcome.
and for sending us or magically making this appear.
Correct.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. All right. Moving on.
Wait, what? Nope, everyone's drinking and Tiffany's thinking, so I'll go first. For those of you unfamiliar with the show, again, this is typically where we take a quick chance just to talk about something that we wish was beer instead of what it actually is. Whether it's our personal lives, whether it's political, whether it's a fart joke, who cares? Just gives us a chance to step away from actual beer and just comment on something we wish was beer instead. And Tiffany is locked and loaded and ready to.
Okay.
Everyone thinks
all
there's a
right.
glitch in the screen because
Okay, so
again we have
I
9 minutes.
Okay. I wish governor's legislative acts were beer. I'm making this up as I go, man. I wish executive orders were beer because I could drink it and be done with it, and it wouldn't be this lasting thing. Good news, though, it looks like there might be SB 1303 in Virginia that will eradicate Executive Order number 2 from Youngkin.
Okay.
That's what I wish was there.
So
Less than a minute. Let's go,
so
Haas.
that you could drink it.
Yeah, be done with it.
You took so little time. Now we got to fill time. I wasn't expecting that to happen.
You're fucking welcome. Hold on. Yeah, velour pants.
Well, mine's really easy because I also forgot about this portion of the show since this is pre-recorded. But I just wish polos were beer because then Phil would look good having one.
Are you saying I don't look good in this polo?
I mean, it's not your best look.
Oh,
or do you wish you could drink this up? Is that what that is?
I want it to be whatever you feel more comfortable with, Phil.
Oh, I think you know the answer.
Oh, I do.
I already know per Phil that I'm just keeping you warm for him. So
It's true.
Yeah, I tell you that pretty much every day. I think you get that text.
Every day.
It's at least once a year at this point, if not quarterly.
Hey, I've seen the blanket. I don't see your guys' blanket.
You wait till that thing comes up on the background here one episode randomly. We'll just tap it to the wall. All right, Phil, what do you got?
I wish wild card football was beer. Because I just had a rough weekend.
Oh, yeah, you're a Patriots fan. I always forget about that. I always think you're a Brady fan, but you're a Patriots fan.
Good news.
Yeah.
49ers are still in it, so you can join me.
No, I will not be doing that. Although you got Garoppolo.
Fuck you.
You got that beautiful Garoppolo, so it's really hard not to watch.
You're not kidding.
You're welcome.
But yeah, as a Patriots fan, it was a rough day. So I wish it was beer, because then as I kept watching it / drinking it, it would have gotten better rather than worse.
Oh, this is so true.
That's how I spun that one.
God, I love it.
All right.
What
are we doing next week?
I have not the slightest. I forgot we were doing this week.
It's our last scheduled one currently until everyone goes to check the website after this episode, and it's completely updated.
True.
We are doing pastrami on rye from Pipeworks Brewing Company.
I'm very excited for this.
Daniel, if we don't get a pastrami on rye and eat it during this show,
I think we have to.
I'm calling off the fucking wedding.
Are we food pairing now?
Well, this one should be paired with a charcuterie board and like cheeses and Gruyere.
Now we got to talk about cheese on the show too.
I love cheese.
I'm trying to talk about hangover.
Not only do I love ciders, but I also love cheese and bread. I love bread, cheese, and ciders.
Do we remember where Pipeworks is from?
I believe they're out of New York. Vero, nod your head up and down. No, not New York. They're out of somewhere else.
Yes.
I don't know.
Jersey, Connecticut,
Jersey.
Okay.
Massachusetts.
We'll figure that out before the show.
Vermont, New Hampshire. All right. Well,
Maine?
I don't know what she's doing at this point. We'll look it up. So most likely on the East Coast, you might be able to grab this beer somewhere. She's still pointing up as if it's Canada. Okay. Whatever.
What is up there?
Did you say Denmark? God.
But I'm excited about this beer because of clearly it's a funny beer. Pastrami on rye just sounds, and I love pastrami on rye.
Yeah.
But what I'm nervous about with this beer is the smoky meat aspect.
Oh, please.
I'm afraid they're gonna go way too smoky on it.
Can't. Not for me.
Because I find with beer, when beers have like a meat flavoring, they always go smoky.
Yeah.
Was your porter smoky?
No, but it wasn't a meat.
Bacon. No.
It was like supposed to be drank with bacon and eggs, so it's like a coffee.
Right.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like trying to be pastrami on rye.
I don't know. I'm for it.
I'm excited because I love it.
Pastrami on rye in general, like the food. I'm gonna
Chicago.
Right.
Vero, Chicago is not up
Which is
further from New York.
from New York.
I mean, technically, Chicago is pretty damn close to
I'd have gone
Canada,
like
but
this.
like it's kind of.
Yeah, you got to go at an angle. Come on.
Come on.
Is it technically north if you look at it like the
I mean,
latitude?
technically, I'm sure it is.
Wait,
Well, either way, like I've had barbecue beers before, and they're always too smoky, so that's where I'm nervous. But if they go more pickly, more mustardy,
Sure.
that could be interesting.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
or rye in general. I love rye
Yeah.
bread.
I like.
So join us next week. Who wants to close it out? Tiffany, you've done
You.
so well tonight.
No, Phil, do not let Tiffany close the show out. You close the show out. You're doing great.
Oh, I have to close out the cider show? Ugh.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Nothing would make.
thanks for watching Wish You Were Cider tonight. I hope that you drank a cider with us and, felt our pain. Thank you to
Ciders.
thank you to Vero for providing another of these for us.
And your translation services.
Yes, thank you.
And the translation services. Join us. We're here every Thursday drinking something. Next week it's pastrami on rye. If you can find that, join us. Follow, like, subscribe. Really helps us in the long run. If you subscribe to us, that would be great. Follow us, interact with us, and talk to us on all the socials.
Dig it.
Is that it?
So
Did I finish it?
Yeah.
Smash this.
Dude.
Smack that!